Are you guys watching And Just Like That? Okay, so how are we feeling about it? I don't know. I have mixed feelings. I feel like maybe we are not getting the best writing. For some reason, it's not curling over. Why is it not curling over? I don't know. It's a couple things. I don't like the storyline. I hate Miranda's whole storyline. I think there's a lot of things that bother me about the show, but I really feel like my dislike for Miranda's character direction is one of the biggest ones, and I'll get to the second one. Um, Overall, I want to like the show. Overall, I keep coming back because, ooh, how that show was my jam in the 2000s. I mean, what girl living in northeastern New Jersey did not fancy herself a Carrie Bradshaw? One day, moving into the city, getting your dream job, getting your dream apartment. I guess what I never understood, spoiler for if you haven't seen the last couple seasons, was there a need to kill Big off? It just seems to me like the show has not really fully like regained its footing ever since killing off Big. And I mean, you can disagree with me about this, but I don't know. I just feel so confused about the Carrie Aiden relationship. I loved the idea of them reconnecting in the movie when they did. And, you know, I did love the idea that it is too late. He's moved on. He has a whole nother life, yada, yada. And sometimes you make mistakes and sometimes you let that one go. But also, like, Big was hurt. Like, it was Big. So the way they just killed him off, it kind of annoyed me. And I don't know if I'm ever gotten over that. And I don't know if the screenwriters have ever gotten over that because this Aiden relationship and how she's so second place in his life is irritating to me. And maybe because I'm just not the girl who's about to accept having a long distance relationship with a man, with a family, like their interactions are just weird. And it seems that the kids don't accept that their dad is dating. But I don't see it. I don't see how you go from her getting this fairy tale, like love of her life ending with John J. Preston, yes. And now we're in a long distance, will they, won't they kind of thing with Aiden where she has to play second fiddle to his son's needs, which, yes, is normal. And I agree with that, but it's not what she needs, you know, and it's bothering me that they keep trying to make Carrie accept slightly ridiculous long distance relationship terms. Like, for example, who would be in a long distance relationship with someone that you cannot call? Like, she can't call him. She can't call him. She can't call him. Like, if she calls him, it's a big deal because his son, I think his son's name is Wyatt, crashed out literally and got into a wreck, a DUI, I think, at his like in his teenage years. And so Aiden pulls back completely from the relationship because of that, which sucks, but is understandable for a minute. Okay, you feel me? But this dude opened up the season talking about 5 years of this. Where? What? 5 years of me not being able to call you whenever I want, or me not being able to text you and expect a response? I just don't understand how the writers thought it was a good idea to take Carrie out of that marriage with Big and put us in a situation like this. It just feels very much not at all like the happy ending I thought I was signing up to witness, because I want to see Carrie get her happy ending. Damn it. I feel like that was the whole point of continuing the show, was for us to finally, as viewers, loyal viewers that we are, get to see Carrie have her happy ending with the guy she was, I guess, meant to be with. Is that what the writers were trying to show us? Apparently not. But that's what I tuned in for, because boy, oh boy, if you're going to kill Big, it better be for a good reason. So, okay, that's thing number 2 that I dislike about the show. Thing number 3 is that Charlotte's little storyline is a little too, like, mom whimsy. As a mother, I want to empathize with what they're saying, that she's struggling to maintain her identity as a mom now that she's, you know, back in the working world and stuff, and, you know, a mom and a wife and all those balances that happen as a result of a mother, you know, giving up her career for a few years to raise a family, and things that are very admirable and, you know, you can definitely identify with as a woman who works or a woman who does not work outside the home. And this season, it just seems like they're going to give her just little spoofy, weird stuff to be concerned about and no meat and potatoes. I want them to give Charlotte, in conclusion, a real storyline. I think she's a talented actress, and it just feels like we are a bit wasting her talents on these kind of like midlife crisis slash parents of teenagers moments. Okay. Thing number 4, Lisa, Ari Nicole Parker, her storyline. This documentary, it's just dragging along, okay? It felt like they were signaling that they were going to have some kind of issue in their marriage because of the comptroller race, but that seems to have overall disappeared into the background, and now we're just more focused on the documentary again. I feel like they just keep going back and forth to a kind of pointless dead ends in the story for her that is annoying to me. Okay. Seema's story. Whew. I was so thrilled when they introduced an Indian American character because I thought she would bring something really great as a woman of color, that she would bring something really interesting to the scene. And they had no Asian representation except Lily on the show. So besides Black women, Asian women were also way up underrepresented for the what New York really looks like. And overall, the actress is beautiful. The acting is good. It's like Samantha 2.0. I feel like they were trying really hard to replace the Kim Cattrall that's missing and is kind of obviously missing, or at least was more obvious in the beginning. Not to say that I think they should try to bring Kim Cattrall back, because I think that lame little car scene they did last year, giving us a whole bunch of nothing, was not it either. I don't care to see that either. Like, I want her either on the show or totally just forgotten about. So I guess we're just going to forget about her. It seems like they're trying to capture the magic of let's not have everyone paired off and still have the coverage of what it's like to be single in New York City. But now we're doing it from the perspective of some people who are middle-aged. Yeah, I think it's okay, but it's missing something. Do y'all know what that something is? I can't quite say. I'm not going to sit here and say that one person makes the whole show, but it's crazy to me how much they hated each other in real life, but their on-screen chemistry between Samantha and Carrie, God, you couldn't tell. And the on-screen chemistry between Seema and Carrie is not there for me in the same way. I just don't buy their friendship as a deep, abiding thing so much as she's a realtor and it's cool and they have a good relationship, but some of the scenes just feel forced between Carrie and Seema. I hate that Miranda is so alone. We know, yes, okay, she's divorced and she's dating and she's in this new frontier of dating women that she wasn't doing before, but the nun storyline, I was like, what? What are we doing? Why? I don't even want to get into it. I'm not Catholic. I went to Catholic school, but yeah, I'm not going there. But I was like, this is all we have from Miranda? Okay. Just bumbling about, you know what I'm saying? Not really having any footing, which I know can happen after you end a marriage. You can feel lost, I'm sure, and not really sure what that next chapter is going to be. But she was corporate lawyer babe. And it seems like, okay, you have a crisis of conscience. You want to do more in this world. I admire that. But why do we have to completely just sideline everything that was good about the character to service this new endeavor? It just seems like she went from being this corporate law shark who graduated, top of her class, et cetera, to just this. It's really too much for me. She's like couch surfing, and it's just a lot for someone who's a successful corporate attorney for so many years in New York to just be so rudderless, just bouncing around with nothing to do. And okay, now you're working for Human Rights Watch. I think that's what she's working for. You can correct me if I'm wrong, which is great. And then she's an intern. It's just giving too much starting over for someone who was where she was. It's a lot of start over, and feels like uncertainty introduced for the sake of uncertainty. and turning this story on its head without going anywhere. So I hope things start to level out for Miranda's character. This is it. I really like her. She was actually one of my favorites from the original. I didn't like the way she treated Steve. I mean, I thought the cheating thing was so appropriate when they did that in the movie, I believe it was, and really delved into, like, okay, what happens when Steve decides to stop being kind of a doormat? It was wrong, but that's what it felt like that was in the movie. Anyway, but I'm like, we're never going to see him either. I mean, I know she went to him a couple times to his bar out on the, was it Coney Island, I think? But yeah, she just feels rudderless. She feels like she has no direction and she has no point. And a little bit artificially pressed for a well-established corporate attorney in New York City. Like, this is someone who was a partner in her firm, or at least on a partnership track, and then just trashed it all. And it just feels a little inauthentic. And then finally, for this last episode, the "aw shucks, Aiden in the country" thing, that bit is gotten so old. Like, yes, he lives in Virginia. Okay, when are we going to move on from that? It just feels so tired. This is a tired gag. We keep laughing about it. Yes, oh my gosh, Aiden lives in the country. He lives in the South. As a northern-born person who does now live very much in the Deep South, I just think the gags are a little old. They're giving, like, a CW show at this point. Like, oh, we're going to ride the ATV on down to the country store. And they keep saying things like tarnation. And I guess they're trying to give us some of that magic we caught when, when Carrie went upstate with Aiden and just was a complete fish out of water. But the world's gotten a lot bigger since then, you know, when people were back then scoffing at the idea of moving to Brooklyn. The world's gotten a lot bigger. New York has gotten a lot bigger, and New York has gone through a pandemic. And I think a lot of New Yorkers have come to see, even if they don't adopt it in their personal life, they've come to see the virtue of living in slightly less crowded spaces. I mean, the place where they're filming the scenes for his life, it's beautiful out there. You call it peaceful, on water? I mean, this is like a ballerific house. I'm a country girl now. I get all that cynicism, but it's on the nose. By the way, if I have to hear Carrie Bradshaw one more time say the show title in the actual show, I think they were fishing and she was like, and just like that, I became a fisherwoman, or something similarly cringy. If I gotta hear that one more time, y'all, like, we get it. The name of the show is in Just Like That. So yeah, stuff like that is sort of annoying to me and feels like a little bit extra corny, saucy, just tired. And we can do better to move the show forward with these characters and their new chosen lives and storylines, paying homage to the past. We can't keep recycling the same old tropes from the previous successful run. It's just a different time. But yeah, there's just nothing fresh about this tape. It feels like someone over at HBO is walking around with a clipboard and a checklist, and they're like, okay, we are now representing more women of color. So we've got a Black woman, we've got an Asian woman. None of them work in a position underneath Carrie. Okay. They are societal equals, and in some cases superior than, whenever they talk about LTW's influence in the world. Great. Okay, we've got a single person struggling in the dating scene. Okay, that's Suma. We've got several LGBTQIA people represented. Check. Although I don't think that was like a problem on the first one, but maybe they didn't have any lesbian representation. And the trans representation they had when Samantha moved to the meatpacking district was not great. So yeah. So in conclusion, so far, from me, my unofficially official opinion is, okay, we're going to keep watching with the hopeful expectation that by the end of the season, it looks like a story has really come together. Now, we're not just fumbling around in the dark to see what we can make work, and doesn't just feel like Carrie settling for the crumbs that Aiden has to offer her, because it doesn't feel like Aiden is in a position where he should even be dating, honestly. But that's my unpopular opinion, I suppose. If you are a single parent and your kid is in a tough spot, now might not be the time for you to date. Just saying. Now might be the time for Aiden to focus on his family and literally just put everything on hold and not tell her to wait 5 years for him. Okay.